Hey everyone, welcome to Anatomy and Physiology 2. My name is Allison Allred and I'm going to be your professor throughout the summer course online for A&P. And I wanted to make this video to give you some information about the course and to just walk you through and show you what to expect and just get you a little bit acclimated to where things are. First of all, you can always send me an email. Here's my email right here. And this is the best way to contact me. Of course, I'm not going to be in my office hours. And so what I've done is that I've made virtual availability. So if you send me an email either through Moodle or through your student email, I usually respond within 24 hours and I can check that anywhere. So that's a great way to contact me. And I'm usually available online Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 p.m. But that's excluding holidays. And during the holidays like July 4th, or during the weekends, I may be a little bit longer to respond than 24 hours, but I try to respond as quickly as possible, especially if there's an emergency or if we have a test and you have a question. As we go through, I wanted to show you some information. Of course, you'll see that you have your units on the left, and you'll see this orientation. And this orientation is very important. We're going to talk about it in a minute. But as we scroll through, you'll see that we have announcements. This is where I send information, and I can tell you, hey, don't forget this test closes on this day. Or I can send a really quick announcement, and it stays there. That's the great thing. You don't have to search through your email to find it. So the announcements is a great way to communicate. Always check it. We also have the introductory video that you guys are watching now. The course syllabus. The course syllabus is what I'd like you to open and read through. This is information about your grade computation, which there's a video in here as well about that. So if you scroll down, you'll see that you have a link to your grade computation, so how things work. So we'll open orientation. Here's your grade calculation down here. So I do want you to watch that so you have some information and read through it. However, if we go back up, you do have the course syllabus that I want you to review. You have the schedule of assignments, and the schedule of assignments is what I go by unless something happens, unless something changes. But this is what I go by, and it also tells you when things are due. I tell you here that assignments are due on Mondays and Wednesdays each week, and tests are available Friday through Sundays. If that varies, like for the 4th of July, that testing window is a little bit different. I tell you that on the schedule, so make sure that you review that schedule so that you know when things are due. At the beginning of every unit, I will send you an email and say, hey, this just a reminder that this unit starts today and this is when the homeworks are due, this is when the tests will open and close. This unit, and all of these units are designed to be self-paced, which means that you can work ahead. I've made everything available for you to work ahead. However, I only grade assignments once they close. So if you turn in an assignment, 2 or 3 weeks early and you're working ahead, which is fine, just keep in mind that I'm not going to grade that until it closes, because that means that everyone has their assignments in. So just keep that in mind. Of course, this is not an easier course than it being traditional, although I truly miss traditional. I love face-to-face. I love being face-to-face with my students and seeing you. And so I do miss that aspect. This is not easier, but it's different. So as we move on through, we have a link to your textbook. And I decided because the website is easier and also because you have a limited accessibility to campus, I decided to give you all of the contents for the course for free, which means that you have a link to our textbook. If you click on this, you're going to download this textbook as a PDF and save it to whatever device you want to. You can save it as many times as you want, but I do want you to have it saved so then you can look through and find what you need to and not have to go back to that website every single time you want to reference that book. So this is a link to our textbook. Please download that. You'll need it for lecture and lab. You'll also need a copy of your lecture notes, which we have right here. I'd like you to print these. If you want to print them unit by unit, you can do that, but these are for you. Print them and use them and complete them at any way that you like, but these are given to you free, so you don't have to buy these from the bookstore. And you have the lab manual. We will be using the lab manual in the lab content of our course. So make sure that you print and have a copy of this as well. You also have technology downloads. So if you need to download Adobe Flash, Java, Adobe Reader, anything like that, this is how you find it. This is where the sites are located. Okay, so let's go down to orientation. This is the first thing that you do. So for orientation, you have 2 quizzes. Usually you just have one. The reason why we're giving you a second one is because we're hoping that we will be able to use this in the future for another tool. And so one was made by me and one was made by Distance Learning on campus, kind of as a guinea pig experiment. So I do want you to complete both of these. They're worth 10 points. And then you have the orientation assignment. This is for you to watch the video, review the information on how your grade is calculated. This was made by Ms. Emmons because Ms. Emmons was part of creating this course. And so throughout this semester, you will hear my voice, but you will also hear Ms. Emmons and you may hear Mr. Dial or Ms. Yates. And that is not meant to confuse you at all, but this just lets you know that this was a group effort. And I will be contacting you through email and facilitating this course, but I may be using tools from other instructors to make this course better and to help you learn the information that you need. So if you hear a voice that's not mine, that's probably who it is. It's one of those people. You have grade calculation here that talks to you about what is an A, a B, and so on. And you need to do this orientation information. Remember, it closes by the 29th. And the reason why is because this orientation assignment, if you're new to online courses, tells me that you have attended this course because I can't physically see you. And so this gives me a number, a date that you entered the course so that I know, yes, you have this information and yes, you entered this course and you're being active. And that's important. So then we go down to Unit 1, and I just wanted to show you some information about Unit 1. The layout for every unit after this will be the same. However, in Unit 1, what you will do is that you have your guided notes, which you'll have for each unit. You have a Unit 1 Lesson 1, you have Lesson 2, you have 2 homework assignments, and then if you go on down past Lesson 5, you will have the unit test. And so every unit will be laid out in this format where you have lecture videos, you have video boards, and then you have homework. The homework has due dates that are on the schedule of assignments, so make sure that you pay attention to those. And the unit test opens a certain time and closes a certain time. And so that's the only one that you only have access to a short amount of time. You also have some optional assignments. These quizzes are optional. However, if you choose to take them, they do count for a grade. I suggest that you do. They're a great study tool, and I really recommend that you do them. They're a great way to practice. And sometimes you see those questions from quizzes on the actual lecture test. So just keep that in mind. We're going to close Unit 1, and Unit 1 is very similar to Unit 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 in format. Then we have the final exam, which I just want to briefly talk to you about. The final exam is comprehensive and it counts as 15% of your grade. You are required to take this exam. This doesn't replace the lowest test grade. It's not optional. However, it's going to open the 27th of July and close the 29th. So you do have a small window. But there is a study guide to help you with that. You also have some additional resources for each unit. So you have information like videos or extra notes. These are just things that I found that I thought you would find useful. Some of these things I've made, like some of these worksheets. I also made you a Quizlet on the many terms of the unit, and especially for Unit 1 because you're learning a different language with these muscles. So I encourage you to watch these tutorials like Khan Academy or the events at a neuromuscular junction, but also do the extra practice because it's there for a reason. It is helpful, and even though it's not for a grade, it's still a great resource. So I encourage you to watch it. We also have these all the way down for each unit. So let's look at lab for a minute. I am going to send you an email every Wednesday with lab information for that week. And there is a lab schedule that I'd like you to open and review. But every week I'm going to send you an email telling you that the lab information for this week is available. This is where I'd like you to complete. This is when it's due. So you're going to have that every week. So for lab, because I'm making it from scratch, lab, you will not be able to work ahead, and I apologize for that. If you're a go-getter and you really want to work ahead, I apologize that you can't do that, but I'm very clear about what's due, and so this is the information for our first test. And I will send you an email the very first Wednesday about what is due when, but we go through the entire semester and do a lab every single week, and we go by the schedule that we have posted for you. So this is an overall guideline of what you have available to you. One last thing I would like to mention while my eye is catching it, you do have practice tests that are in the review as well, and these practice tests can be for a grade, they can help you, but they are optional and they're a great way to practice. And what I did with these was I took old tests and made practice tests from them. So sometimes you'll see these questions again, but you have a practice test for every unit. Here's Unit 6. We have one for Unit 5, and we keep going. So we have one for every single unit, and they're a great way to study. So I am looking forward to virtually meeting all of you. I hate that I couldn't meet you face to face. I absolutely love working face to face. And if you have any questions throughout the semester, please let me know. If something happens and you can't turn something in, if someone gets sick at home, we're still dealing with the virus, please let me know, because I can't see you and check on you physically. So what you tell me is what I know. I will also be honest with you during this time, and my hope is that you will love this course, that you will learn a lot about anatomy and physiology, and that you'll also enjoy it. So if you have questions, let me know, and we'll get started.